Born Diane Hall on January 5, 1946, in Los Angeles, California, was one of Hollywood's most distinctive actresses, an artist whose presence on screen was both endearing and unpredictable. Her career spanned more than 50 years, and during that time, she collected nearly every major honor in film, including an Academy Award, a BAFTA, and 2 Golden Globes. She was also recognized with nominations for 2 Emmys and a Tony Award. In 2007, she was celebrated with the Film Society of Lincoln Center Gala Tribute, and a decade later, in 2017, she was given the AFI Life Achievement Award, an acknowledgement of her lasting mark on American cinema. Diane Keaton had an estimated net worth of $100 million at the time of her demise. She accumulated the impressive sum from her successful career, endorsements, and business ventures. Born to John Newton Ignatius Jack Hall, a civil engineer and real estate broker, and Dorothy Diane Keaton, a homemaker and amateur photographer, Diane was the eldest of 4 children. Her father's Irish roots and her mother's creative spirit shaped her early world. Her mother once won the Mrs. Los Angeles Homemaker pageant, an event Diane later said first made her dream of performing before audiences. Raised a Free Methodist, Diane attended Santa Ana High School, where she took part in drama and singing clubs and starred as Blanche DuBois in a school production of A Streetcar Named Desire. She graduated in 1963 and briefly attended Santa Ana College and Orange Coast College before deciding that New York City was where she truly belonged. When she joined the Actors Equity Association, she changed her surname to Keaton, her mother's maiden name, since another actress had already registered as Diane Hall. In New York, Keaton studied at the Neighborhood Playhouse, learning the Meisner technique, which emphasized emotional truth and responsiveness to other actors. She would later say her approach to acting was all about connection. "I'm only as good as the person I'm acting with." Her early work included singing in nightclubs, a side passion she revisited in films like Annie Hall and Radio Days. Her first major break came in 1968 when she joined the original Broadway cast of Hair, though she gained attention for refusing to appear nude on stage, an act that reflected her firm individuality. The next year, Woody Allen cast her in his play Play It Again, Sam, for which she received a Tony nomination. Their partnership would soon become one of the defining collaborations in American film. Keaton's film career began modestly, with a small part in Lovers and Other Strangers, 1970, and television guest appearances. But in 1972, her life changed forever when Francis Ford Coppola cast her as Kay Adams, the girlfriend and later wife of Michael Corleone, in The Godfather. Her subtle yet powerful performance as a woman drawn into the dark moral gravity of a crime family earned her wide recognition. Coppola reportedly cast her because of her quirky reputation, believing her energy could balance the film's masculine tone. She reprised the role in The Godfather Part 2, 1974, and Part 3, 1990, playing a character who evolved from innocent love interest to a woman embittered by the corruption surrounding her. Though some critics initially dismissed her part as secondary, many later recognized Kay as the quiet moral center of the epic. Her collaborations with Woody Allen in the 1970s, Sleeper, 1973, Love and Death, 1975, and especially Annie Hall, 1977, cemented her reputation as a comic genius. Annie Hall not only won her the Academy Award for Best Actress, but also redefined romantic comedy itself. The film's conversational wit and neurotic humor mirrored Keaton's own personality, and Allen wrote the character partly as an idealized version of her. The performance felt so natural that many assumed she was simply playing herself, awkward, funny, and full of charm. Critics called her portrayal a nervous breakdown in slow motion, and her trademark mannerisms became iconic. Just as memorable as her acting was her Annie Hall wardrobe. Loose men's trousers, vests, and fedoras that defied the conventional glamour expected of Hollywood women. The look, much of it drawn from her own closet, made her an unlikely fashion icon and sparked a trend toward androgynous dressing for women. Time magazine placed her on its cover in 1977, calling her the funniest woman now working in films. That same year, Keaton shifted gears dramatically with Looking for Mr. Goodbar, playing a Catholic schoolteacher who leads a secret nightlife of risky encounters. It was a daring role that exposed a darker side of her range, showing she could handle psychological complexity as well as comedy. Throughout the late 1970s and early 1980s, she continued to move between genres with ease. In 1981, She earned her second Oscar nomination for Warren Beatty's Reds, where she portrayed journalist and feminist Louise Bryant. The part required emotional depth and endurance. Keaton described it as one of her most challenging roles. Critics praised her intensity, with the New York Times calling her performance nothing less than splendid. Her relationship with Beatty during this period mirrored the film's passionate, complicated energy. Following Reds, Keaton starred in Shoot the Moon, 1982, delivering one of her most emotionally raw performances as a wife navigating a collapsing marriage. Critics hailed it as one of her finest dramatic roles, proof that she could portray heartbreak and vulnerability without losing her signature authenticity. Though she stumbled with a few less successful projects, like The Little Drummer Girl, 1984, she rebounded with Crimes of the Heart, 1986, and Baby Boom, 1987, the latter of which became a box office hit. In Baby Boom, Keaton played a high-powered executive forced to raise a baby unexpectedly, a role that combined comedy and tenderness. Her comedic instincts and emotional depth made her one of the most reliable leading ladies of her generation. The 1990s marked her transition into more mature roles, often as mothers and matriarchs. She reprised her Godfather role once more and found huge success with Father of the Bride, 1991, and its sequel. She also reunited with Alan for Manhattan Murder Mystery, 1993, reminding audiences of their unbeatable chemistry. Around this time, Keaton began directing, helming Unstrung Heroes, 1995, a nostalgic and heartfelt drama that reflected her own childhood memories of Southern California. Her biggest hit of the decade was The First Wives Club, 1996, a comedy about three women reclaiming their power after being left by their husbands for younger women. Starring alongside Goldie Hawn and Bette Midler, Keaton's performance connected deeply with audiences, particularly women, and the film grossed over $100 million. That same year, she earned another Oscar nomination for Marvin's Room, in which she portrayed a terminally ill woman attempting to reconcile with her estranged sister, played by Meryl Streep. The role, she said, taught her empathy for those facing mortality. In the 2000s, Keaton continued to prove her enduring appeal. She directed and starred in Hanging Up, 2000, a family drama about sisters coping with an aging father, and in 2003, she found one of her biggest late-career successes with Something's Gotta Give. Starring opposite Jack Nicholson, she played a playwright who unexpectedly finds love later in life. Her performance was warm, funny, and vulnerable, earning her another Academy Award nomination and reminding audiences that romance and reinvention have no age limit. Keaton's later years were marked by steady work and ongoing reinvention. She appeared in comedies such as The Family Stone, 2005, Morning Glory, 2010, and Book Club, 2018, balancing humor and grace with her usual wit. She also lent her voice to the animated hit Finding Dory, 2016, showing that her influence stretched into new generations of filmgoers. Outside of acting, Keaton was known for her passion for photography, architecture, and preservation. Inspired by her mother's love of taking pictures, she published Reservations, 1980, a book of her own photographs of hotel interiors, and later became a dedicated preservationist of historic homes in Los Angeles. Her love for design and old buildings reflected her deep sense of nostalgia and artistry. In her personal life, Keaton never married, but had several high-profile relationships, including with Woody Allen, Warren Beatty, and Al Pacino. She later adopted 2 children, a daughter, Dexter, and a son, Duke, whom she raised largely out of the public eye. Keaton often spoke of motherhood as her greatest joy, saying it gave her life meaning beyond her film career. Known for her eccentric charm, offbeat humor, and refusal to conform to Hollywood expectations, Diane Keaton remained a singular figure in American cinema. Her legacy was one of fearless authenticity, whether wearing a men's vest on screen, playing complex women in love, or finding strength in vulnerability. Her performances captured what it meant to be both extraordinary and human. When she passed away on October 11, 2025, at the age of 79, the film world mourned not just an actress, but an icon who embodied intelligence, honesty, and a touch of beautiful chaos. An artist impossible to duplicate, yet forever unforgettable.